Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. We're going to start off with some Eddie Watkins Jr. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary, in the Zoom room. Raise your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together, we come together, in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together, in the name of love. Now, take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the Zoom room sanctuary. Raise your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together, in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together, in the name of love. In every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite. Oh, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. And now we go Eastern. Say, Namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Raise your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
And a huge thank you to Eddie Watkins Jr.
Woo-hoo.
by means of Jesse Powers.
My hair is covering where I spilled water on myself earlier. Sorry.
Honey, we come together in the name of love, the self-givingness of spirit. And that's exactly what Jesus, the man, would have wanted that we are celebrating today, who made his transformation via the cross and then the rolling away of the STONE stone. So, yes, it's nice to have you in this virtual space, although it was even more wonderful when we got to share time together in person recently, when, as you're now on your Western USA tour.
Yes.
And you did a concert for us, and then we hung out a little bit and had some coffee with our beloved Pete Orlansky. So
Yes, we love Pete.
we love Pete. So welcome, Jesse.
Thank you. It was so fun to see all of you in person. It was great.
Yes. And so I loved it when you were saying, and I love that. I love all of Eddie Watkins' music, but especially that one and the "I Walk Away" song, which is just one of my favorite of all songs ever, really, both lyrically and energetically, and the meaning and his singing of it. But when you would say "turn to the person to the left of you," I would turn to the left, and it was you because you were on my screen up here on the YouTube, and then I would turn right, and it was you on the screen here in the support computer. So it was like.
It was just all us this morning.
You're omnipresent, Jesse.
Yes, I am.
You're omnipresent. Well, I'm glad you're here today, and I look forward to sharing this experience together. So,
Me too.
thank you, thank you. Hello and welcome and good morning, if it's morning to you, wherever you may be, from the timeline of life as well as the clock that wherever you are. And if not, whatever time it is in the physical space that you're in, let's just all know together that we're in the perfect time and space together. And welcome. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and I affirm for each one of us that right where we are, the divine is. It is that energy of the divine that's often called God. In our philosophy, faith, and way of life, known as the science of mind, it's also called the thing itself. And our whole essence of being in this community, as well as in our practice of our teaching, is to remember that at all times there is the opportunity for renewal. And that renewal takes place through our mind, through our thoughts, through our beliefs, through our actions and our reactions, and our interactions with the very thing itself. We come together on this day, which in its Judeo-Christian world is known as Easter, which is the whole story of the death and the resurrection, which we'll look at in a kind of broad, new thought, fun perspective this morning in the message part of our service. Primarily through the lens of remembering that we have the opportunity always to think anew, and it's through the thinking and the choice of who and what we know ourselves to be as divine beings that we can impact the state of mind that we have, ultimately impacting our life. And so without further ado, I want to say thank you for being here. Welcome in whatever form or format you're joining us today, and I mean that through the lens of whether it's Zoom or YouTube or watching at a later date. Let's just all know together that right where we are, it's the perfect place, the perfect time, expressing our perfection. So I'm going to put on the screen our opening slide, and we move into the time together. So welcome. We are a community that our vision statement is supporting individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Spring is awake and it is here. And so let's all just honor the transformation of life that spring offers us, and be open to coming together today for that being an opportunity to tune in to the light and the transformation and the life and the love that is indeed what we're called to be and called to participate in. The song that Jesse just sang is "We Come Together in the Name of Love." Love is certainly an energy field. It's an idea of romance that we all look at through the lens of humanity. But in our teaching, in our philosophy, faith, and way of life, known as the science of mind, Dr. Ernest Holmes defines love as the self-givingness of spirit, whose desire is to create more out of itself, to manifest more out of itself. And it does that through you, and it does that through me. Today, I invite us to open up to that in a new way of letting go of what was and opening up to what can be. And the next step of that is moving into our morning ritual, which is called calling in the light. And I'm going to just know that for each of you, just like me, it's been a week where there has certainly been opportunities and moments of the miraculous nature of light. My acronym for light is living in God's healing truth. And I invite you to tune into whatever that may mean for you right now. And what that means for me is that we are infinite beings expressing the totality of the energy of the divine, and that we get to experience its love, its self-givingness, to the degree that we become conscious of its energy. Incumbent within that energy, and as individuals of that, we are imbued with the qualities of peace and of power and of beauty and of joy and of light and life and love and wisdom. And so I invite us all to feel the presence of those energies, and also whatever they may mean to you, and to begin to believe that they exist in all beings as well, as we hear the words of this ritual and see the light of the flickering flame on the screen. This week, watching the astronauts move out into outer space and to head out to circle the moon, I've thought often of the vast expansiveness of the universe, while at the same time the very simple element of our philosophy that the light that is giving life to all in the astronauts, in the space vehicle and vessel, in the stars that they're passing by in the sky, and to all of that is beyond, and that is in you and in me, also was in Jesus the teacher, is the same light. Let's tune into that energy as we begin this ritual, calling in the light. As exemplified in a different expression with the purple orb on the screen now. Let's hear these words and feel the energy, calling in the light. Today we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence we call Spirit. The purpose of this ritual is to draw into our gathering this morning a conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we possess as complete expressions of the divine. And so as we feel the vibrations shift during this experience, this ritual, this time together, may we become ever more aware of the light of life that exists in and as all expressions of life, which includes you, and it includes me. As we focus on that flickering flame, which has now multiplied on the screen, along with the word peace showing up. This week on the journey I've been on, and you'll hear a little bit more about that later, I kept jokingly saying to all of my loved ones in these times of challenge and trial, hey, give peace a chance. Hey, let's just give peace a chance. Thank you, John Lennon. But peace, yes, as that state of inner calm, but more importantly, peace as my acronym, purposeful energy activates conscious evolution. Today, it's my objective for each of us to ask ourselves, where can we be more purposeful in our energy? That's what our message is going to be about. I believe that's what Jesus is really all about. Where can we be more purposeful in how we use our energy? It is Easter, and I invite us to begin to open up to some joy today as well. Yes, it's a solemn and serious occasion, but it's also an opportunity to have some fun. We were laughing in our sound check earlier today, remembering that we can be serious and we can be focused and we can be oriented and also chip away at that which is not good for us to reveal. The hippity hop hop, boom shaka laka laka, bang bang of the Easter Bunny while participating in our purposeful energy, consciously agreeing and engaging in conscious evolution. And so dance, bunny, dance, bunny, dance. I'm going to share this prayer with us that we shared last week, and I invite us to hear it anew as an invitation and a guide to direct our consciousness. Using the word God, from my perspective, that's the infinite, impersonal, all creative energy. It was written for soldiers by James Freeman in World War II, and let's invite it in for ourselves and all beings on this planet today. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The mind of God guides me. As the life of God flows through me, the laws of God direct me. The power of God abides within me as the joy of God uplifts me. The strength of God renews me, and the beauty of God inspires me. Wherever I am, God is. We are one family. We're going to go through the song and sing it together, Calling in the Light. Jesse's going to come on and take us through that. It's a call and response song, and the lyrics are on the screen.
Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh, calling in the light of love. I am love, I am peace, I am peace in my heart, in my heart. I am free, I am spirit, I am soul, all together we are whole. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. Ooh, calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love.
And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you for that tranquil version of that. It really reinforced, I love that graphic on the screen of the dove taking the A from the word war and pulling it up to, elevating it to the word peace. You know, it's just, that has such deep, deep, deep meaning.
Mm-hmm. And very appropriate for right now.
Yes, very appropriate.
Yeah.
Very, very, very wonderful. What song do you have for us next?
I have a song called "The Blessed Way" that I wrote. It's about life and rebirth and the cycle of things.
Wonderful, wonderful. How appropriate.
Yes,
Thank
it's just
you.
in time for springtime.
Yes.
I sat still and beheld the glory white of the silk upon the dogwood in the early morning light, and a story told to me long ago return to something wordless as it started to unfold before my eyes. If you wait till all is right, till black folds to white, you live like a blind one. And if you hold your gaze to the sky, you'll see how the night gives birth to the sun. Day to night and night to day. And isn't that the blessed way? I lay still in the deep and fertile ground as my body turns to chaos, feeding all the life around. I am home, I'm at peace and I'm at rest, and it only took one lifetime to realize I'd never left here at all. If you wait till all is right, till black folds to white, you live like a blind one. And if you hold your gaze to the sky, you'll see how the night gives birth to the sun. Oh, day to night and night to day. And isn't that the blessed way? Oh, oh, what is love but to open to the glory that in ordinary morning makes you weep? What is faith but to smile as the leaves change, knowing they'll return again in spring? Day to night and night to day. All of life comes from decay. Nothing goes and nothing stays. And isn't that the blessed way?
Wow. I don't think I've heard that song from you before, have I?
Maybe not. Yeah, I don't play it super often.
Would you please send the lyrics of that to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the statement of everything comes from decay. Because that would freak a lot of people out, right?
Yeah. It would.
but it's the natural progression, right? It's what it is.
Yeah. Yep.
Everything in the physical form, right?
Right.
Right? But everything that is what gives it the ability to decay is not changing. It never changes.
Right. Yeah.
So it's an illusion.
Yes.
It's an illusion, but not at the same time, right? So
yes, that is.
It really is a
paradox.
physical journey manifestation of really what the premise of our philosophy is, right? That there's a causative energy to everything, and that life exists on two realms: that which is causative and that which is effect, and the effect is forever transforming itself.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then how do we utilize that? Because that's a principle. How do we utilize that principle in a way that affects the changes that we want? Right. That's really what it all comes down to. So
yes.
And you do that by perspective. You do that by thought. You do that by mind. It's about engagement. It's about processing your reaction, utilizing your emotions, your vibrations, your feelings, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just a quick left turn before we move into the message. How has your journey been? You've been on the road for how many days now?
Oh, I think we're coming up on 6 weeks now. So, yeah, it's been amazing. I've had so many wonderful shows and I've met so many great people, and I had a great time in LA, did so many fun things there. And yeah, I've been very lucky and feel very supported by our community. So,
Yeah, well, you are. Are you going to Reno for the
no, I'm not
thing?
going
Got
to
it.
Reno. No.
Got it.
Yeah,
Well, it was such an
unfortunately.
honor for you to be here, and it's great to hang. So thank you, thank you.
So fun. And I got to meet Sweeney.
That's right. Sweeney, which is now our beloved new social media individuals, or Star and Olivia. We just shot a whole bunch of content at the center, and Sweeney was there, and she's in a lot of it that's already airing now, and she wanted to be in it. And for those that don't know, Sweeney is my four-legged spiritual offspring, akin to the one in the green painting behind me, but that was her predecessor, Sadie, her guardian angel. So yes, and then this upcoming Sunday when we're in person, just to kind of plant that seed with everyone, after the service, we're going to do a social content Sunday. If they're going to start shooting more content as well. So
Ooh, cool. Sweeney will
exciting.
be people will come for the dog and stay for the message.
Yeah, well, I don't know that Sweeney will be there next Sunday, but we will definitely do that. So,
Yeah.
woof, woof. All right, thank you. Looking forward to seeing you after the message. Thank you, Jesse. So, speaking of the message, I've thought, and I'm going to share this with those of you that will appreciate this. The mug that I'm drinking out of today, which is John Wayne from the film Ride 'em Cowboy, was our beloved Cooper Neal's mug, who was the significant other and partner to the founding minister of this church and helped build it in its infancy up until, for let's just say, 20 years. And he was one of the individuals kind of in the background of everything, making it all happen. And this morning I have been thinking a lot about, the pressure that's put on ministers. And I'm not saying that personally for myself. I'm not feeling the pressure, but I'm just saying in the context of, the performance, if you will, on Easter and Christmas and those big holidays that fall into these, that are monumental and deciding, if you will, decisive days in the calendar. And I was thinking today not only of what it's like as a minister, obviously being one, of putting together those year after year, those messages, and you'll see in a moment what my selection was for the day, but those that work in the background for all of it. And in that note, thank you, Travis, for all that you're doing to support and help us. And so I wanted to honor Cooper today, and I went to get a mug out to grab my tea, and I pulled that one out. And so we're doing that. Today, on this day, Easter in the year 2026, we are joining with, just countless number of people in the world observing Easter and honoring the events that took place through the stories of Jesus the Christ over 2,000 years ago. And they are certainly an important center point for the Christian faith primarily. And it's obviously turned into a holiday of celebration because of A, the resurrection, but B, of hunting Easter eggs and that whole pagan element to it all, which is why I played the fun slides of the Easter Bunny a while ago. And as a non-Christian based philosophy, although it's based in some of the tenets of Christianity, as a community, we bring to this observance a metaphysical interpretation, and that is my intent today, to bring together a different metaphysical interpretation that allows us to embrace the spiritual meaning and principles above the literal level of the story of the crucifixion and the resurrection, so that we may each find a personal resonance, a relevance, if you will, of the concept of transformation, which is really what the story is all about. And that's why I just loved the song, that lyric in the song that Jesse just sang about all comes from decay. If you really look at the element of the crucifixion of Jesus, and he got there because of behavior, right? Because of choices that he made. Albeit altruistic ones that one is perceived in the story, but it did then cause his death. But it's important to remember that the death then turned into the resurrection of the miracle of life being infinite, never ending. But that couldn't have happened without the crucifixion, the death of the old. And that's really what we're going to look at today in a very unique way, as you'll see in just a moment. And I want us to begin to tune into this journey of the understanding of transformation, which certainly happens in spring following winter. But let's look at it as a mystical tradition, and let's put it in the lens of the mystical tradition for anyone that's walking the path of awakening towards a full realization of our oneness with the divine and our divine identity, and where at some point along the way we will personally live out the various stages of the story of the life of Jesus. And maybe not even in a linear form, but if we can embrace that concept to understand it as being relatable. And that what I want us to understand is that each step of the rising to a high level of consciousness, which may create a situation that's uncomfortable, that may then create a death of what was, so that there can be an awakening to the new, to look at it through the lens of the map of consciousness that we use often. And I'm not going to share that today because we're going to do something else, but through that of elevating, evolving layers or levels of states of mind, remembering that it's through our states of mind and choosing different states of mind that we then can be causative to a different experience. So if our desire in life is for us to have a different experience, the awakening of the infinite life within us, really, which is ultimately what that's about, which is what transpired in the life of Jesus so that he could roll the walk. He was rolling the walk away to stir fry, rolling the rock away so that he could leave his burial ground, the entombment in the cave, so that he could rise to that higher level of consciousness. The story of Jesus. In our philosophy, faith, and way of life, Jesus was not the great exception. He was the great example, Ernest Holmes teaches us. As the human gives way to the divine, and all people, they become the Christ. Today, I'm going to share with you a almost 15-minute video from Abraham Hicks that doesn't talk about Jesus, by the way, doesn't even talk about Easter, but I believe the content in this video will be relatable for all of us of where we're at right now on this day, April the 5th in the year 2026, and the journey of life and all that's going on in the world of effect, and we can relate to it personally. And so I invite you to open your mind to that from the perspective that it is a guide for us as to how to make a decision and giving ourselves some grace on this journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, and understanding that, yes, the objective is to roll away the walk. I said that intentionally, as if the dancing bunny was like, roll away the walk so you can find Christ. Anyway, you can tell I've had a fun week, right? I invite you to know these things as we move into this video. To give yourself the grace and the gift to sit through the 14 plus minutes, because it's worthwhile. To understand when they speak of Esther, look, it's going to be as if Esther is on the screen in the animated format. This particular medium by which they teach here is Esther is the human, Abraham is the entity of the energy of the divine speaking through Esther, but also referring to Esther as they're separate from it. And so just trust yourself that much of the language you're going to hear is similar. You've heard it before because I've shared these videos before, to what we teach here, but know that there are points that are of power to you. Travis, do you have that ready for us?
Esther has been hearing us for a long time, and we don't want you to think that she's particularly good at this. She is. She's thriving in so many ways, but she faces reality too. Reality is a tricky thing, isn't it? Because it's in your face. So she's flying home. She said she would never speak for us again if we told this story, but she doesn't mean it. She doesn't mean it. She doesn't mean it. She knows that when we tell stories on her, that it helps you. And she knows that it doesn't stop our appreciation of her. So she's flying from Denver back to Salt Lake City last week on Sunday. And on her way to the airport, she gets a text message from an airline that she flies on really rarely, because she doesn't really like this airline very much. She flew with friends, and so she knew she had split energy, but so what? This is what. So she got a text message that her flight was delayed because of an equipment failure, about 3 hours delayed. And Esther thought, okay, well, it doesn't really matter where I am, blah, 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 blah. I can be happy anywhere, blah, 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 blah. Well, she really sort of kind of means that, but she didn't like the delay. And she knows sometimes, because she's had the experience, and she believes that sometimes those delays get longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. You ever had those negative experiences? Esther has, but only with this particular airline. So when she got to the airport, she asked her driver to let her out in front of another airline. And she went to that counter and she said, my flight on United, you might as well know it sucks, is delayed. And so, do you have a flight to Salt Lake? And the girl said, yes, it's $900. And Esther said, perfect. She didn't really feel that way. All right, when does it leave? 55 minutes. And while the woman is typing, it goes away. And then there isn't another one that soon, but there's another one about an hour before her delayed flight is scheduled to leave. And Esther thought to herself, oh, that's a ridiculous amount of money to spend to save an hour of waiting. Even I am not that decadent. She is, but... So she walked away from the counter, sort of feeling the tug, feeling like she should have purchased that ticket. But she used her reasoning power and sort of was examining the look on the woman's face. The woman couldn't believe that anyone would do that. And so instead of Esther following her own impulse, which was strong, she didn't do it and she walked away. So she checked her big bag in with United Airlines, and then she waited with other people in the area all day. The delay kept being pushed out and out and out and out and out and out. She made a lot of friends. She had a very good time. And then, she told funny stories about airline delays. And then she told her favorite joke of all, because the people she had made new friends with were worried about their baggage making it, because they were changing planes in Salt Lake and even to another airline. And Esther told a joke that she's known for years. Ha ha ha. Man went to the ticket counter and said, I'd like this bag to go to Maui, and this one to Tucson, and this one to Tulsa. And the person behind the counter said, oh, sir, we cannot possibly do that. And he said, why not? You did it last week. Really funny. So finally, the new plane is there, but now there's a weather delay because there are lightning strikes in Denver. So another hour delay, and finally the plane takes off. It's only a 55-minute flight. Esther lands, she's at baggage carousel, and all the bags come off, but not hers. Why would hers come off? Where was her vibration? Where was her expectation? Nothing's happening to her. Everything's happening because she's calling it forward. Yes, doesn't feel that way, and you don't want to admit it, especially when it's happening. But so she had a strong impulse that she would just wait for her bag, because she lives out of her bag. Everything's in her bag. Without her bag, she is homeless. So she asked the woman, the very aggravated woman behind the counter at the lost baggage counter, I think I'll just wait for it. And the woman said, well, let me look and see where it is. If it's on the next plane, it won't be that long. But it wasn't on the next plane. Your bag went to San Jose. Not Maui. Not Tucson. Not Tulsa. It went to San Jose. Almost like her joke. And Esther said, well, when will they bring it? And the woman said, well, they're going to pick some bags up at 9:30, and then they're going to pick some more bags up at 1:30. So they'll bring it before 5:30 in the morning. And so Esther proceeded to martyrdom herself by going to her house where she planned to stay, but because it's a very awkward entry situation and no one was there but her and no way for them to find her, she decided to wait at the gate for a bag that didn't come all night long. And by the time 5:30 had arrived and the bag was still not there, Esther listened to a couple of audiobooks and saw deer running by and a raccoon and a little snake slithered across the driveway and cats she didn't know she had. In other words, she was at one with her property in a whole new way. She's never sat up all night at her gate. But by the time 5:30 came and she made the phone call back to the airline and they said, well, are you at a residence? And Esther said, yes. And the woman said, oh, we never deliver in the night to residences. And Esther said, that would have been very nice to know 8 hours ago. So, you get what we're talking about here? Esther was not out ahead of that. She left her vibration right where she last left it. The last time a piece of baggage was not delivered to her was when she flew to Charlotte a few years ago on United Airlines. In other words, your vibrations are stuck where you last left them. You have expectations that you don't own up to. And so Esther didn't even try to get out ahead of that. She knows better. But really, Abraham, you think I can get out ahead of everything? Yes, we do. We think that you can get out ahead of everything. We think that you can, in general terms, plan for your well-being. We think that you can get to a place where you expect well-being to be yours. And every now and again, it is so wonderful to have an experience that is so obvious to you, where you can absolutely make the parallels, where there is no question in your mind that the thought you thought and the results you got were identical in vibrational nature. Because until you make that correlation between what you've been thinking and how you've been feeling and then what's happening, you have no real creative control in your experience. Then you have options. At least you know, I'm too lazy to get out ahead of it, or I've forgotten how important it is to get out ahead of it, so I'm not bothering to get out ahead of it. So I will just continue to make the airlines be the inconsiderate ones, when really, are you considerate of yourself when you have a belief about something that you don't want and you don't take the time to change that belief? Who really is not considering the options? You see what we're getting at? Do you create your own reality, or does United Airlines create your own reality? Because most people would like it to be the airline that is responsible. Most people would like it to be someone else needs to do something so that I can feel better. And we want you to know that you can, to a certain extent, you can fill out the survey. Esther won't. You can demand of things. Esther won't. She's smarter than that. Or you can decide, once you have an experience that is unsettling and not preferred and really not wanted, you can reach the place where you finally say, and this is what we want you to hear above all things that you will ever hear from us: I give up all control of circumstances and situations and people and events, and I'm turning it over to the power of non-resisted thought. Because you just cannot control. You can't control. There are too many moving parts. Sometimes you think, well, it's just coincidence, or it's just odds, or just sometimes your bags come and sometimes they don't. No. Everything that happens to you in your experience is a direct response to the vibrational frequencies that you are offering on any given subject. You just often don't realize that you're offering those frequencies until you get the results. So there are two ways to know what you're doing vibrationally. And what you're doing vibrationally really matters, because what you're doing vibrationally is what equals your point of attraction. So what you're doing vibrationally is causing the universe to respond, and there are two ways for you to know what that is. What am I doing vibrationally? One is, how do you feel? Esther had several very clear promptings of different action that she could take that she overrode with practicality. And looking back, she saw several things she could have done differently to make it better once it got tumbling in the wrong direction. So the first thing that you can do is pay attention to the way you feel and do your best to find the best feeling thought or action, the path of least resistance thought or action. And the other way you can know what you're doing vibrationally is wait till it manifests. And when you're sitting at the gate all night, you know, yeah, that's right where my vibration was. That's right where it was. That's right where it was. In expectation of something unwanted. So we're eager to talk with you today about anything that matters to you, with the understanding underpinning, the premise being that you vibrate your own reality into being by your habits of thought. And so the question on the table is, do I have the ability to think other than what happened? Can I have had an experience with a person, with a situation, with a company? Can I have had an experience, and can I resist the temptation to regurgitate the unwanted aspects of that enough that I can get out ahead of that vibration and leave it in a new place? That really is what creating your own reality is all about. And so as we watch Esther, and you too, we see you doing a whole lot of things that really work for you. We can feel your optimism rising. We think that you are living wonderful lives, and we know that you can feel the improvement since you've decided to be more deliberate. But we want you to know there will forever be, all day, every day, opportunities for you to refine your vibration. And when you get good at it, you will feel like the master of the universe, where things are responding to you. There are so many things that are working for you behind the scenes that you don't even know are working for you behind the scenes, because they're working for you behind the scenes, because they are flowing on the energies of your positive expectation. Or they are flowing behind the scenes on the energy of the beliefs that you hold that happen to be a vibrational match to the desires that you hold. But you don't have to take potluck. You don't have to create by default. You don't have to sit by the gate all night waiting for a bag that isn't going to come until the next day. You don't have to do any of those things. You can be the creator of your own experience. You can let go of the things you can't control while you give your undivided attention to the thing you can control. And that thing you can control is your own mood and your own attitude by the thoughts that you choose to think. But you've got to get out ahead of it. And why? Because the law of attraction is responding to what's active in your vibration, and what's active in your vibration is whatever it is, and the law of attraction is bringing you more of it, and that's what causes a momentum. So if you're thinking a non-resisted thought, if you're thinking a thought of well-being about yourself or someone else, and then the non-physical energies of the universe, all that is non-physical, who is purely non-diluted and non-resisted, joins you in that thought, you've got one powerful momentum going. And people who are watching you are noticing the magnitude of your creative prowess. In other words, they're just knocked over by what they see happening all around you. But if you are giving your attention to something unwanted, law of attraction brings you that too. The distinction that we want you to hear is that when you get moving out ahead of it with the non-physical energies, with that non-resistant source energy, the ratio is enormous. Every thought that has ever been thought still exists. So everyone who's ever had a bad experience with any airline or with any specific airline, those thoughts are out there, and the law of attraction has gathered them together in a river or stream that you could tap into.
What do you think of that? The reason I wanted to share that with us this morning is because it really puts in perspective for us kind of a different way of looking at change your thinking, change your life. I've been writing the curriculum for this upcoming class starting on Wednesday night, titled To Tune In, Tap In, Turn On, or Not. And I've been researching and writing this curriculum of the elements of the vibration, of really becoming consciously aware of feeling these vibrations, as Abraham was telling us, that there's two ways to know how you're manifesting. And I'm not really about manifesting at this stage in life, other than understanding that it's always happening. And what I really want us to all walk away from this with is as greater information, as guidance, as perspective. And of course, as a perspective, if you'd love to take the class, it's going to be a great class. And it was not coincidence that this all fell into place this way. It wasn't also intended relative to the class. It's more this showed up in my world. And I think it's relative and pertinent to what we're looking at in the context of the death of the old to the resurrection of the higher consciousness. You know, to Christianity, the cross symbolizes the redemption of the sacrificial death by crucifixion of Jesus. It stands for suffering and triumph and victory. But that's not the case in metaphysics. In our teaching, in our philosophy, in our way of life, it's about rising to the Christ consciousness. It's about the consciousness that moves away the rock of the tomb so that you can rise to the higher way of being. Hicks is telling us that the way that we do that is one of two ways. We can pay attention to how we feel and shift and fine-tune that feeling to what they refer to as non-resistant thinking, meaning that which is in alignment with our Christ nature, the wholeness, the perfection, the completeness that is inherent within us. Or we can wait to see how life shows up and then respond to that. The language they're saying is get out ahead of it. In other words, as Dr. Walker used to say, be prayed up. This week, I've been continuing on the journey of my beloved friend who's quite ill in Cedars, and being attentive to that, and her beloved family and the husband and a lot of stuff, and watching people do what my beloved Dr. Maureen Hort says, that people awaken either through inspiration or desperation, and weddings, funerals, deaths, celebrations bring out the best and or the worst in others. I've witnessed all of that this week. And it's been such a journey for me to step back, and because they're all like, oh, Keith, you're so fantastic. But I'm good at managing these pieces. I know that. But to step back and ask myself, am I going to fall into the trap of all the drama that it can be created around it based on people's emotions and their comfort level to how they deal with distress, right? Which is what the whole map of consciousness and David Hawkins teaches us, is that we can stay stuck in those states of mind which get amplified when situations show up in life that throw us for a loop, or do our work preemptively. That's what Abraham's talking about. And so today, on this day of Easter, where we've been given the physical example of the death and the transcendence to a new consciousness, it's my invitation for us, and I shared this video with us today so that we can become more and more aware of the opportunity for a higher consciousness, which means the consciousness of the higher self, a transcendental reality of tuning into peace, power, beauty, joy, light, life, love, and wisdom, and to choose to take on that consciousness, to allow ourselves to have an awakening, an intentional willingness to rise to a spiritual consciousness of the I am, that I am, that I am. And I know for you all, you're ready, willing, and able to do that. And to know that along the way, it ain't always going to be easy. So we're going to close out with a very quick 40-second video that's going to give us some guidance on how to stay tuned in, tapped in, and turned on while we're awake on this journey of being awake in the way life works. So Travis, take us out, and then when that ends, Jesse, you can come back and sing in whatever song you have ready for us. All right, let's do it, Travis. Thank you.
As you're moving forward, it will be very helpful if you will say to yourself, am I cooperating with my hopes and dreams? Am I cooperating with the fuller part of me? And every time you catch yourself complaining, just laugh and say, nope, I'm not cooperating. Every time you feel negative emotion, just laugh and say, nope, I'm not cooperating. I want to be a cooperative component. I want to be a cooperative component. I want to be a vibrational match to all that I've been asking for. I want to be a cooperative component. I want to be a vibrational match to the source within me, to the culmination of all that I have become.
Well, I don't usually get to play this song within the context of a message. I play it as an opener, but this is perfect. It's about declaring that every day is beautiful because we are co-creating that. Here we go. Oh, I forgot. You guys have a part. Okay. Your part goes like this. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. It's really easy. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. And then with me in your living room or wherever you are, on the count of 3, if you were at the concert the other night, you know what I'm going to do. On the count of 3, I want you to give me a big huh, just like that. Here we go. I wake up early to the morning sun. I don't know how it does it every day. It rises up and then it falls again. Born only to die away. Yeah, look in the mirror and I see myself. I don't know how I do it every day. Standing on this big blue rock, not knowing what I'm doing here. Still believing there's a reason, keep on keeping on my way. Each time I open my eyes, that's when I get to decide how I am gonna show up and show out in this life. Here we go on 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoo! Everybody get up. Sing with me. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Very good. Look at the clock, it's running day and night. Got no control in those little clock hands. A little soldier just marching through time. Well, I'm so glad I'm not a clock, I am alive, and I can choose to dance each time I open my eyes. Well, that's when we get to decide how I'm gonna show up and show out in this life. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Every day. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. 'Cause we declare it so. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. We say no to the negative thoughts. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Oh, get up, get up, get up, and be grateful. I'm up, I'm up, I'm up, and I'm thankful. Get up, get up, get up, and be grateful. I'm up, and I'm ready to play every day. Yeah, everybody, get up. Why? Because it's a beautiful day, of course. Everybody, get up. Oh, 'cause it's a beautiful day. Yeah, everybody, get up. 'Cause it's a beautiful day. Woo. Everybody, get up. Oh, 'cause it's a beautiful day. 'Cause that's what I say and think and feel. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you, Jesse Powers. That's the perfect way to end that fabulous little animated video.
Yes, I love Abraham Hicks.
Me too. And I love whoever's doing the videos, these animated videos. It's just fantastic.
Yes, they're awesome.
I'm sure there's a lot of AI chat GPT, Coco the monster robot there too. So
Yes.
great. Thank you, Jesse. We'll see you in just a bit to close out. So thank you to all of you for being here. As I said earlier, a big thank you to Travis. Thank you to Olivia and to Star. Just want to say happy Easter to each of you. And I know that the message that has been shared today is imprinting in your psyche and soul that which exactly what you're calling for, to live anew and to share the joy and light that you are. Reminder that this new 2-part class series starts Wednesday night at 6:30. I'd love for all of you to join me. If you would email me your registration, just that you're going to do that, would be great, and the links will go out. It's going to be a really wonderful curriculum building upon this video that we saw today and elements of that. of how we actually do it. A reminder that we're back in person next Sunday at our home at 1200 North La Brea Avenue, West Hollywood, California, as well as we'll be online. We are going to call it Content Sunday, and a little bit after the service, we're going to shoot some content for social media, and we'd love to do some interviews and all that. So please participate. If you're online and unable to join us, please send me a text or an email, and we can structure around with Olivia and Star doing that with you online, not necessarily Sunday, but another time we can do that to get it. A reminder that we have an e-newsletter that goes out every Monday. That's going out tomorrow, so hopefully you're getting that. A new thought text for the day each morning at 7:30 a.m. And this Wednesday morning, as always, at 8:30 a.m., we have an online meditation. We'd love to have you join us. Just know that over these next few days, as life just continues to unfold with some challenging times, to remember who you are and to be gentle and to be kind with yourself and cherish each other and yourself, your creative abilities, and the fragility of life itself. I can assure you, after the last week I've gone through, it's how easily we forget the fragility of life. And so I encourage you to take that in and to do that. Jesse's going to come back on and take us out with the Let There Be Peace on Earth song. I invite you to let yourself wash over that. Let it wash over you as well. And then if you're on Zoom and would like to stay on and say a brief hello to each other, we'll do that. And then we'll say goodbye to those of you on YouTube. And so thank you for being here. May your Easter be filled with joy and light and happiness. Mine is, for having shared this time and energy with you today. Jesse?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Oh, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you all. Have a fantastic Sunday. Peace out.